In winning by more than 20 seconds from his world champion teammate Hamilton, Bottas made a clear statement not just to the Briton but his bosses at Mercedes that he too, on his day, could compete for the world title. The softly spoken Finn rubbed it in by going flat out in the closing stages to post the fastest lap of the race, scoring an extra point in his first Australian Grand Prix success. Valtteri Bottas, credit Joao Hamilton, who was on pole for the race for the sixth consecutive year, made it a 1-2 for the German team, but he had to withstand a determined challenge in the latter stages from young Dutchman Max Verstappen in the Red Bull to ensure second step on the podium. For Verstappen, the third-place finish was his best in Australia. The Ferraris of Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc were fourth and fifth, but they were some way adrift of the front three in what is a worrying start to the new season for a team which came into the weekend in Australia as race favourites following an impressive winter testing program. "I don't know what to say. It was definitely my best race ever," said Bottas. "I just felt so good, and everything was under control. The car was so good today. I am so happy. I can't wait for the next race. It was about being at my best level, at one with the car. When you are on it, it feels really easy, even if it's not." Hamilton might have been disappointed to have been beaten so far, but he was full of praise for the team, who had turned the Mercedes around after it had been slower than the Ferraris in winter testing. "It's a great weekend for the team. Valtteri drove an incredible race today and he deserved it. It's how the game goes." Bottas, who has had to play second fiddle to Hamilton for the past 2 years, looked likely to be second best again after qualifying saw him finish just behind the world champion in second place on the grid. But the Finn gunned his engine off the line and got off to a brilliant start, edging past Hamilton down the straight as the field thundered away to the first turn. That was where the race was won and lost, as none of Bottas' rivals could get anywhere near the man whose dominance on the day was simply staggering. Loading race was a nightmare for Australia's local hero Daniel Ricciardo, making his debut for the Renault team. His race was virtually over in the first 100 metres as he bumped off a curb just after the start and dislodged his front wing. Up front, 29-year-old Bottas would have been oblivious to Ricciardo's woes. As the late afternoon sun dappled through the trees in the idyllic park setting, the Finn must have felt as if he was out for a relaxing Sunday afternoon drive. After one lap he was a second ahead of Hamilton, and it quickly became apparent that his claim that he was now mentally and physically stronger and tougher, and more focused than ever was not just idle pre-race talk. Valtteri Bottas, credit Joao Crew's decision to keep him out longer than Hamilton. He pitted 7 laps after his teammate did not harm his cause either. In winter testing, the Ferraris of Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc had been fastest, but the closest they got in this race was the third place that Vettel had secured on the grid after qualifying. Afterwards, Vettel shrugged and said, "I guess we were just slow. For me it was just making sure I got to the end."